Hello, dear students. How are you all? Welcome you all back to the organizational behavior classes where we are discussing about module 3, that is learning. In the last class, we have talked about learning, defining learning, understanding learning, principles and characteristics of learning. And we have started with the theories of learning. In the four theories, we have already discussed about one theory, that is classical conditioning theory, okay, which is given by Evan Paula. So we have discussed about this, the experiment of dog and food, about the stimulus and response. Today, we are going to talk about the second theory, that is operant conditioning theory. Okay. So, how classical conditioning theory was given by a psychologist, Ivan Pavlov. Similarly, operant conditioning is proposed by a psychologist called as B.F. Skinner. Okay. So, let us see what it is all about. I'm sorry. Okay. Operant conditioning is a work of B.F. Skinner. Okay. So, in operant conditioning, we are going to see about two things. One is behavior and the consequences. Okay, behavior and the consequences. So, whenever we try to do something, anybody in that case, if we are not a child who does not have the ability to think and process, apart from those people, every adult in that case, before doing anything, we think of the consequences. What would be the result of this? Okay, nobody touches a wire of current wire which is hanging, right? So we know that the current shock will be given, or nobody do the wrong things, like say for example in this quarantine social distancing time, we don't roam around outside house. We prefers to stay back because we feel that police may come and beat us, right? So that is what we do, we analyze the consequence. So we analyze that what would be the result of my behavior if I do if I do something, what would be the result of this my deed. So that's why what I do, before doing anything, I analyze that what would be the result, and accordingly I behave, right? It is the study which is proposed by taking these two factors, variables, behavior and consequences. B.F. Skinner has conducted an experience. Okay, it is a little bit extra modification of classical conditioning, and it gives the method. In the classical conditioning, we have seen only how behavior can be modified. In this theory, we'll be seeing how behavior can be shaped. Okay, shaping the behavior also can be understood by operant conditioning theory. So what it is about, operant conditioning, there are four principles which is followed and conducted experiment on. So there will be a positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, punishment and extension. Okay, positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, punishment and extension. So we have seen the meaning of reinforcement in the last class only. Reinforcement means strengthening something, right? Strengthening the here, whenever I saying positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement, so it is we are strengthening the behavior. Okay, behavior reinforcement of behavior. So how this positive, negative reinforcement and punishment and extension are going to work, we will going to see in the next slides. Before that, I would like to give a experiment. I would like to explain you experiment. So let us see what V.F. Skinner experimented with. So in classical conditioning, Paul would experiment with the animal dog. Okay, here he is experimenting with what you can see here. Okay, rat. Okay, so he's experimenting with the rat. This is called a Skinner box. Okay, Skinner model of learning, we say operant conditioning is also known as Skinner model of learning, Skinner theory of learning, Skinner theory. Okay, so these all the names which is having for the operant conditioning. So what Skinner has done, he has developed a box. You can see box here, right? This box. In this box, what and all is there, we are going to see now. Okay, so first come with here. This is a pallet dispenser where if you put something here like food and all, it will be slided here. Okay, so this is dispenser 2. Uh, it is a lever, this is a lever. Okay, kind of button. These are the lights, signal lights. Two lights are the signal lights. Okay, this is a speaker. Okay, for the sound thing. Okay, here is a food cup. This is a food cup. Okay, so these lines which you are seeing, these lines are the electric grids. So electric grids are connected to a generator, button shock generator. Okay, so once again look into the model experiment box, Skinner box, it is a, there's a box. Inside the box there's a rat. A rat is standing in some kind of grids here. Those grids are electric grids which is connected to electricity. Okay, so outside here there is a speaker, there is a lights, signal lights. Okay, then there is a lever, or you can say it is a button. Okay, a lever, and here is a one box where anything is put in here that will be slided through this pallet food cup. Okay, so the food will be restored here, the food. So this is about the model. Okay, so now Skinner, what experiment he has conducted with this rat? Let me explain while this figure is there on PPT. So what he has done, he has put a rat in the inside this Skinner box, this box. Okay, rat started roaming around. Okay, so rat started roaming around inside the box. Rat won't sit silent, right? It is not a human thing. It will be roaming around. So whenever the rat is roaming around the this box, accidentally it used to hit this lever. Okay, accidentally, not intentionally. It was roaming around, and it just accidentally the lever is touched. Whenever the lever is going to touch, this food dispenser would dispense the food. Food used to slide through, and it used to collect in the box. Okay, so rat once, twice, thrice, it has like accidentally touched the lever. Then food used to be dispensed and collected in the box. So what happened? Rat is to eat that food. So whenever after few times of this repetition of accidentally touching the liver, rat learned that rat has learned that if I am hungry, I want to eat food, means I need not to roam around the box. I can directly go to the this liver. Okay, if I touch this liver, food is going to be fallen into my food cup. Okay, so now it stopped roaming inside the box. So whenever rat has felt hungry, it is to touch the liver. So that is the one learning. Okay, so what is this related to, we'll discuss in the later. Next thing I will tell. Okay, in the experiment. So what happened, again in what Skinner did is he started generating the electricity. Okay, this electric grids are there, started generating the electricity. Whenever rat used to roam around this box, the electric shock used to be generated inside the box through this grid. So what rat used to do, it used to accidentally touch this grid, then the shock is to stop. Okay, then the shock is to stop. Now after learning this, that I should escape from the electric shock. That's why if I go and touch this lever, then I would escape from the shock. That has learned that in the first stage, what it has learned, if I instead of roaming around the box, if I touch the lever, the food will come whenever I am hungry. Okay, the second thing what it has happened is to escape the electric shock, if I am roaming around inside the box, the electricity will be generated. This electricity is giving me shock. So escape from this shock, what I have to do, I have to press the lever, then the shock will be uh, you know uh, remove. The shock will stop, the electricity supply would stop. I wouldn't be getting any shock. In the first thing, what food used to come in, and whenever it touches the liver, the food used to fall in your plate or a cup. That is a positive reinforcement. Okay, whenever you touch the liver, food, you are getting a food, right? It is a positive reinforcement. Next is so whenever I want to escape from the shock, electricity shock, I have to touch the lever because it is electricity shock is an unpleasant behavior. I have to touch the lever, then electricity supply would be stopped so that I can escape from the electricity. Okay. Let us see how it is related, what it is and all. Okay. Now we are talking about positive reinforcement, right? Food. When you press the lever, food is the positive reinforcement. So Skinner, what he has done, he has showed the positive reinforcement by a hungry rat. He has placed an hungry rat in a the box. Okay, then the lever. Okay, when they accidentally knock, it is knock the lever, touch the lever, then the food is filled in the cup. Okay, so rat learned that if I want food in box, in the plate, so I have to ensure that I have to press the lever. Whenever it wanted the food, it is to press the lever. So what it whenever it felt hungry, it started repeating that action again and again. Okay, so this is the positive reinforcement. Okay, then positive reinforcement, what it has meant, whenever the food is to drop on the football, so rat learned that whenever I'm hungry, whenever I want something to eat, when I want to eat means have to, it has strengthened its, okay, positive reinforcement. Food, dropping of food is a positive reinforcement that has strengthened that it should perform in a particular way instead of wasting its energy roaming around the box. Okay, a general example I will take. If a teacher will give you rupees 5 whenever you complete your homework as a reward. Okay, teacher is giving you as a reward. If you complete your homework, I will give you 5 rupees. Then what you will do? You will not miss any homework of her, and you will complete every day your homework. So what it happens? The teacher is strengthening you by giving the positive reinforcement, that is rupees 5. Yeah, but whenever you complete the homework, you think that I'm going to get the 5 rupees as a reward. That's why we will, in classroom also we have seen whenever some student answers, then we'll clap the students and encourage it. So that students, for not only that student, to other students also, we give a positive reinforcement that okay, even if I answer, I'll also get the round of applause from the teacher and the students. That's why I want to answer whenever they ma'am ask the questions. Okay, so that is the example of positive reinforce to strengthen the positive behavior. Okay, to strengthen the good behavior from the students. Okay, how it is applicable in the organization? So organization always use the positive reinforcement to make employees work. Okay, it may be a monetary or non-monetary reward. Okay, financial reward or non-financial reward. Non-financial reward like recognition, incentives. Monetary maybe bonus, like that, some pay increase. Okay, so the why this is done, this is to increase the productivity and reduce the absenteeism. Positive reinforcement are given. Whoever perform well, we will be giving them promotion and the bonus. So every employee wish to get the bonus and the promotion, so they try to perform well. Okay, here I have given an example. Insurance agents, insurance agents are the people who are in the insurance business. What they do, they'll give each month incentive to that insurance agent if he achieve the targeted number of policies. If you achieve whatever given for the month, so he'll be given incentive from each policies. Okay, so this is for employee, to motivate employee to strengthen his performance, to strengthen his productivity. We are giving incentive to him. It is a positive reinforcement example. Okay, like how food used to fall on the food plate whenever the liver is touched. Okay, Next, we are talking about negative reinforcement. Negative reinforcement is electricity, okay? So what Skinner has shown that negative reinforcement by placing rat in a Skinner box, what he has done, unpleasant electric current he has given, okay? So which is caused the discomfort to the, obviously to the rat, okay? So what had rat did, moved inside the box, so it accidentally knocked the lever, then immediately the current stopped. Okay, how the accident of touching the lever has caused a food dispenser. In the negative reinforcement, he had changed the experiment that whenever the rat used to touch the lever, accidentally touch the lever, current flow would be stopped. The electric shock would be stopped. Okay, so what happened here when the unpleasant electric shock, which caused a discomfort to rat, then it accidentally knocked the lever, then the current would be switched off. Okay, so rat again learned quickly. Rat is smart. Okay, so rat has learned quickly, and whenever the electricity supply started, it used to escape from the that electricity shock. It started pressing the lever again and again. Okay, to stop the electricity. Okay, so negative reinforcement is avoiding. Okay, so avoiding the certain kind of unpleasant behavior or discomfort. Okay, so for example, every morning your mother is screaming at you, you are not waking up early, or you are not doing your you pressing your clothes yourself, you are not having breakfast before leaving to the college. Every time she is yelling at you, so what you do after some time, you start doing all your work yourself just to escape from her yelling that every time. You don't want to listen to her this thing nagging, so that why you start doing your work yourself. Okay, so to avoid the unpleasant words from your mother, what you do, you just start working about whatever the work which is your work, you'll start doing it, right? So that's how the rat wanted to escape from the unpleasant electric shock. It learned that if I press the lever, then the electric shock would be stopped. Okay, what here I given, rats avoided the electric current by turning on the light of electric came on. Okay, and in the this thing I have showed you in the Skinner box. uh, I have shown two light points, right? So these lights, whenever if these lights getting on, that rat used to learn that, oh, now electricity will start passing. Okay, so I have taught two things to rat. Whenever the electricity, these lights are getting on, that time shock will come. So immediately you go run and press this lever. Okay, so two things was learned by the rat now. Okay. Now, if I want to give it an example, so how negative reinforcement will work? So it is a removal of unpleasant reinforcer. So whatever the unpleasant is happening to the rat or unpleasant things happen to any people, they want to remove it. That's why they perform. Okay, so it is also strengthen your performance. Okay, like positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement also strengthen your behavior, right? Just to escape from the unpleasant environment, what you do, you start doing performing well, you start being productive. Okay, so negative reinforcement strengthen the behavior because it stops or removes the unpleasant experience. You're getting just escaping from the everyday this thing. Okay, every day somebody is talking negative about you, so you just want to remove that unpleasant environment. So just to perform yourself well, that people stop talking negative about it. Okay, so that is, it is also reinforces, it is also strengthens the behavior. Okay, so I have given the same example. If you not complete your homework, teacher would ask you rupees 5. There she, as a positive reinforcement, she was giving rupees 5 if you complete your homework. Okay, now she is taking fine if you won't complete the rupees 5. That's why to avoid paying rupees 5, what you do, you complete your homework. Okay, remember when all of you are walking, who are latecomers were walking inside the class, so I asked the people who have already entered the class before time and they were sitting, they started clapping for all of you. Why they have started clapping all of you? Because you came late. They were not appreciating you because they were making you feel of ashamed of your behavior. So in the next time, you don't want to hear those claps whenever you do the mistakes, right? So that is one kind of negative reinforcement. From next class onwards, you people started coming at the time, right? So that is one kind of a negative reinforcement which happened inside our class itself, right? Okay. So inside the organizational setup, in a work example, if I want to give, nagging boss means only complaining boss. Okay. So the boss will always nag, do some complaints against you or not performing well. Is that a negative reinforcement? Why? If he'll not monitor you strictly, if he not come and visit you every time whether you are doing a job or not, and you are, so what nagging bosses will do, they want to they just complain that you are not performing well, or they'll some kind of a painful environment it is create in the workplace. So it is an unpleasant situation for any worker. Why they'll do such kind of unpleasant situation they'll do? So that the employees are able to perform well, but they are not doing well. So the strict monitoring or strict bossism will make the employee to be productive. Okay, so it is not like they are removing you from job or something like that. So just they are strictly monitoring you to make you work. Okay, so this is the one example of negative reinforcement. Okay, positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, both will strengthen the performance. Okay, both are the reinforcement only. The next thing we are going to see is punishment. The third one is punishment. So, students, here I want to be very clear that punishment and negative reinforcement are two different things. Okay, whenever somebody asks what is negative reinforcement, don't give an example. Punishment is a negative reinforcement. Okay, negative reinforcement is also given to strengthen the performance. Punishment is also given to strengthen the performance, but it has a negative, it has some consequences. So this is different from the negative reinforcement. Okay, so what is punishment then? Punishment is a opposite of opposite of the reinforcement. Okay, it is not a reinforcement. Okay, reinforcement where we are making something stronger, your performance, productivity stronger. So punishment is opposite of reinforcement. So it will weaken your or eliminate the response. Okay, it will weaken the response. Okay, why it is used then what is the necessary of punishment in the organization, we will see it. Okay, so it is not a reinforcement, it is opposite of the reinforcement. Okay, so some kind of behavior which employees or workers show in the organization, for that reinforcement will not work, we have to apply the punishment during that time. Okay, so punishment can also be directly applying unpleasant stimulus. Okay, like electricity, here also we will give a unpleasant stimulus like shock, electricity shock. Okay, so it is related to the unpleasant rewards for the behavior. Okay, it is it gives an uncomfortable consequences. Okay, like if you are coming late to the office, then your number of hours, how many hours you have come late to the office, that many hours salary will be deducted or wages will be deducted. Okay, if you keep on absent in the classes, you will not be allowed to write the exams. Okay, these are the punishments. Okay, like if you are not submitting your assignment, even after giving many time of negative reinforcement, if even though you are not you are ready to pay the fine but you are not ready to pay the assignment, means I can report it to the principal. That is the punishment. Okay, so punishment is it is also unpleasant this thing unpleasant environment, but it is different from the negative reinforcement. Okay, because we are reinforcing, we are strengthening their productivity. Here what we are doing, we want to remove something from your behavior. There, in the positive and negative reinforcement, we wanted to encourage the behavior like productivity, coming regular to the classes, doing your homeworks. Okay. In punishment, we want to remove certain kind of behavioral activity that is coming late to the office, being absent. Okay. So certain kind of behaviors, to remove certain kind of behavior, to make organization a better place to work for everyone. So punishment is required, like demotions, transfers. Okay, transfers to the unrequired places where you are not requested, unrequested places. So they are transferring it to the unrequested places as a punishment transfer, we can say. So that is called as punishment. Okay, so it is actually widely used in an organization, so that whatever the behavior which is like absenteeism, or late coming, or negative negative political influence in the organization. So these kind of behaviors, to remove such kind of behaviors, the punishment will be used. Okay. So here I have given example that punishment can be materialistic, like a cut in the pay, or demotion I was giving, or firing a employee, or transfer. So these are the example of punishment in the organization. So example here again, punishing a worker who slow down the work may be an economical necessary step to alter the behavior. Okay. So loss of pay, if you are not coming to the one day, if you are taking more than leaves, means that leave for the particular day we are not going to pay. That is loss of pay. Okay. Next one is extension. Extension can be defined as decline in response. Okay, after certain period of punishment, what we will do? Okay, they are going to cut my salary, or what they are going to punish me. So what will happen? It will be extended, your behavior will extend, like you will stop, like how parents, every time if they are punishing you whenever you do the wrong thing, instead of making you understand the situation, if they're just scolding you every time, so what it will happen, you'll get that behavior will get extended, and after certain period of time that punishment will not work. Okay, because of punishment you are working, when we stop the punishment, then you will again repeat that behavior. Okay, extension also, like there will be a decline in the response. Okay, after certain period of time, when the punishment or a positive response or a negative reinforcement or a punishment is stopped, the response will be declined. Every time you are coming with a homework, a completed homework, every time I'm not giving. Okay, for 4 times I have given you the ₹5. After that I stopped giving you ₹5. Then what will happen? You will again stop doing the homework. Similarly, in negative reinforcement also, in the punishment also. So it is a decline in the response after certain period of time. Okay, so when it will happen, when an employee, example I have given, when the employee is not acknowledged, when he is working well, and every day you are coming with a assignment done or work done, that I am not praising you, I am not acknowledging that you people are really doing well. So what will you do? In some days, madam is not acknowledging us, let us stop doing the homework or coming at the right time to the class and all. So this is the extension, example of extension. Okay, so it will decreases the performance in the behavior, occurrence in the behavior. Okay, omission of reinforcement, we can say, like if we are not appraising you, like positive reinforcement, or if we are not making you work, whatever your potential is, realizing that we are not making you work, that is negative reinforcement. If both are not given, then your behavior will be extended. Okay, this is the 4 principles of Skinner's experiment, or operant conditioning, which depends on the behavior and consequences. So everybody will behave according, expecting what would be the consequences. Okay, So that is these four things we have discussed by looking at the Skinner's box experiment. Okay, this is all about today's class, students. I hope everybody has understood about learning. So in the next class, we will learn about the uh, now we have finished classical conditioning and operant conditioning. In next class, another two theories are there: cognitive theory and observational theory. We will finish that. Okay. I hope everybody understood. Thank you. Bye bye.